Streaming now? Am I streaming? How do I do this? Oh. Is it working? Oh, it is working. Hey. It's working. I did it. Hooray. Okay. Welcome to the test stream. I figured it out. Holy moly. Okay. So, wow. I'm actually streaming. So yeah, thanks for watching. I don't expect anybody to show up here. I'm just doing a stream to make sure that this works. This will be posted up on the Parenting Blind YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm also editing the description here. So I put out on my Facebook page anyone who wanted to ask some questions of me to please leave them in the comments, but nobody left any questions. So I'll just do an introduction as to what Parenting Blind is, why I'm doing it, and just some questions that I've received over the years. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask at the same time here. Wow, this is hard. Multitasking is hard. So, oh, somebody's watching. Hello, whoever it is that's watching. This sounds terrible. So, what is Parenting Blind? Parenting Blind is a blog that I'm starting that will help, hopefully will help other blind parents who found, as I did, the ridiculous lack of resources for blind parents. There's lots of resources for parents of blind kids, not so much the other way around. And from my experience, that's just because for some reason people don't imagine blind people having kids. And from what I've gathered talking to sighted people, it's just because they can't imagine being blind and having kids, which I get, because every time I try to think about seeing, it just doesn't compute. So I can understand that position. It's not very helpful when you come to being, a doctor or a nurse and you end up treating a blind person differently because you can't imagine being a blind parent. But we'll get to that. So basically my main goal, other than having this blog, is basically I want to be able to eventually write and market seminars to professionals that will deal with blind parents. Like I said, doctors, nurses, daycare teachers, regular teachers, anybody who's going to be dealing with a parent who with any disability really, but focusing on sight loss because that's what I know. So basically that is how I'd like to make this my career, advocating for blind parents, even doing some work with parents of blind kids. I would really like to be a bit more careful with working with parents of blind kids because I don't want to take their place of their kids, therapist or GP, because not every blind child is just blind. There may also be some other disability that I know nothing about. So I do want to be a little bit more careful when it comes to that. But I still would be happy to give any sighted parent of a blind child some advice if they have any questions for me. I have two kids. I've got two boys. I have Alex, who's 3.5, and I have Logan, who is 8 months old. My husband and I live now on our own. We were with my mom for a little bit. Now we're on our own. We're making our home ours. There'll be plenty of videos about how I adapt things for myself so I can do cooking and baking, and I plan on showing you guys a whole bunch of different aspects of my life. You've noticed, I'm sure, that there is a link to Patreon in the description of these videos. And why is that? Patreon is basically a service for content creators where you can be subscribed to them and make a monthly donation just to help them build their content and make it better. I'm only looking for really small, like $1 a month donations from people. What I plan on doing with that money is using it for Facebook ads for the Facebook page, which you'll also find linked in the description. I also plan on buying a wearable camera so that I can do outside videos, show you guys how I travel with the kids, show you guys what winter travel looks like, what bus travel looks like from a blind person's perspective. Just stuff like that. It's just to help me make this better for everybody who's watching. Let's see, some other questions I've been asked over the years. How did I go blind? I went blind because I was exposed to the measles. I was too young to be vaccinated. The measles vaccine was and is, I think it was 15 months back then. It definitely is now. I was 6 months old when I was exposed. And that triggered something called cytomegalovirus, which, strangely enough, most humans actually carry dormantly. The measles just happened to trigger it in me. And I ended up in a children's hospital for a month in my own room. Basically, that whole month was them trying to save my eyes. They ended up doing what's called an enucleation, which they removed my right eye entirely, and I wear a full prosthetic in that eye, and they removed the retina from my left eye. They left the optic nerves intact on both sides so that just in case one day, if stem cell research expands itself or any technology expands itself, that hopefully doctors can hook my optic nerves back up. It looks like my best bet for getting my sight back would be stem cells to grow another pair of eyes for myself. That's a long way off. So I've been blind, totally blind since 6 months of age. I've worn prosthetics since the age of 1. I have a half shell in my left eye, just kind of to normalize the right eye, make it look even, because I do still have an eye under there. It's just not functional. Both my kids are sighted. My husband is sighted. For some reason, a lot of people get surprised when I say that. I don't know why. I guess people assume that blind people only date other blind people. I don't know why, but again, I guess it's just down to ignorance. Well, I don't even want to say ignorance because that just sounds kind of mean. Um, I just guess, you know, you wouldn't assume a sighted person would hook up with a sighted person. It's just weird. People assume that blind people only date blind people. I don't know why. I'm gonna not try and explain it because I don't know. I would love to have my husband somehow get on here and talk about what it's like to be a sighted member of a two-person relationship where the one other person is blind, but I'm not sure if he wants to talk about it or would know how to talk about it. So we'll see. We'll see if I can convince him. There's 2 people watching. Hello, 2 people. Thank you for watching. This is very rambly, very test, definitely a test. Let me think of some other questions. Let me think. How I get how do I get around? I walk with a cane. I don't have a guide dog. I would love to have a guide dog. I think that's gonna be my next big thing. I need to kick my depression in the butt and get myself out of the house more before I do that though, because it's not fair to a guide dog if I'm going to isolate myself and make myself a hermit. So, in order to reach that goal, I need to get myself out of the house. Easier said than done in the winter in Canada when you can't see. Snow makes it very difficult, but I need to figure out how to adapt to that. I think for a while I've had some trouble. I was hit by a car in 2012. I'll do a video about that separately. But it freaked me out a lot, and I ended up isolating myself a lot. But that's not fair to the kids. So I kind of need to put that behind me, get over it, get on with my life. Because if I can get a guide dog, I think travel will be a lot easier. So right now, I use a stroller and a carrier if I've got the boys together and I'm on my own. I put Alex in the stroller and I wear Logan. Stay tuned, by the way, for the review for my other carrier, my all seasons. Sorry, I'm just checking something. Okay. So I'm glad that this worked out. I'm glad that I can do this now. I'm hoping that I can get some topics for Ask Me Anythings. Or if anyone has any ideas that they want me to cover, or any questions that they want asked, or any topics that they want me to talk about, drop them in the comments here. Parenting Blind also has an email, which I really should put in the description. It's parentingblind@gmail.com. If you are not comfortable with putting what you want in the comments, if you have a question that you want me to talk about, but you also don't want me to mention who's asking, please send me an email. I'll just say it was an anonymous question and I'll answer it for you. And you can go to the Facebook page as well. Parenting Blind is the facebook.com/parentingblind, at parenting_, wow, I'm tired, at parenting_blind on Twitter. Thanks for watching. The 2 people that showed up, I was honestly thought I would just be posting this for people to watch later. Thank you again so much. This has been a test. I'm going to stop rambling And thank you again. I look forward to doing this more. Thanks a lot.